Hello everyone, hope you're all having a lovely, wonderful festive period. It's so cold up here in the north, the winter is truly here. We're at that time of year where the darkness is upon us, the days are so short and the skies are much darker. After everything that's been going on over the last few months, it's exactly what my soul's been craving. We're currently visiting and staying at a family member's place for Christmas. It's a lovely little cosy cottage. So Dan and I are staying at a family member's place. It's a proper cute little cosy cottage. It's got loads of traditional features and it's very quirky, so we're going to show you around. We're also, because it's Christmas, we're going to be baking some cakes now that I've got an oven. I'm so excited about that. And we're going to update you guys on what's happening with our homestead. Just give you a bit of a update, tell you what's been going on, but first we'll show you around. So one of my favourite features of the cottage is actually halfway up the stairs. The kitchen's on the other side of this wall and there's a stained glass window here of a walker on the fells with a little sheep, and as you're walking up you can just see the light coming through, which is really beautiful and just such a good feature of the cottage. So if you're from Canada or a place that experiences quite harsh winters, you probably already know what these are. But if you don't know, these are traditional Canadian snowshoes. These are actually made from ash, and this mesh here is traditionally either made from cowhide or moose hide. So my dad's wife actually wore these in 2018 when we had the Beast from the East storm. So that's why it's written on there, but very cool to have. So the loft's actually been converted into a little cosy space. You can't stand up there, but it's so cosy and warm. So Dan and I have said that we're going to be sleeping there tonight. But what I like about these stairs going up is that they're so stylish and they don't actually take up a lot of room. So for our barn in Portugal, we're actually planning on having something like this going up to the mezzanine. So we're probably going to have about the same space as height room as we've got in the mezzanine as we do up there. So getting used to small spaces. So this is bedroom number 1. Bedroom number 2. In here we have the living room. It's got traditional stone floorings, a cute little fireplace, and this cottage is actually built in the 1700s, so it's got loads of little cute original features. So hanging up around the cottage we've got hops, which is what's used to make beer. Apparently when my dad's wife hung this up, she gets them in a big box and they're really heavy because that's obviously they're hydrated, they're full of liquid. And then as she hangs them up, the house smells like tea. And then slowly but surely they begin to dehydrate and become this lovely colour.
And my favourite part about it is the badass saw on the wall.
We should get one of those.
We should.
Have his little seesaw on the land. So cool feature is this little swinging rack. So this would have been used to boil the kettle once the fire had got hot and cook food, so you could just swing it around and take things on and off the fire. In here we have the kitchen. As you can see, there's hops hanging up in here and the big oven. This is the star of the show. I can't wait to have one of these in the barn. It's just going to be amazing. But can't wait to start making some cakes on there. So let's get started.
Oh, I'm hungry.
I know, I can't wait.
The head cook, Laura?
I am. Head chef.
One of my favourite features in the kitchen is the big scythe. Get one of them working on the land, won't we, Laura?
Yeah.
Look at that. Not sure what to do with it, like, but looks good.
Probably take longer than the lawnmower.
Yeah.
So we're going to be making a few different things. We're going to be making an apple crumble. We're going to be making quince jam with the quinces that we harvested from the land. Also an upside down quince cake because I did take quite a lot of quinces, so I've got loads to use. I want to make some like a dehydrated orange bunting just as a Christmas decoration around the cottage. And that's it really. Let's get cracking. We're both trying to be more mindful of what we buy, so instead of buying decorations, this year I wanted to make our own. This dehydrated orange and lime garland is cheap and easy to make and compostable, so better for the planet. In the future, I look forward to doing this with some of our own produce, and one day when we're more settled in the future, I think this would be a great activity to do with our children. I picked some cuttings from the spruce tree outside the cottage to add the decoration. I then measured out the distance along the fireplace. And once the limes and oranges were dehydrated, it was time to string them up and place them over the fireplace. Next thing to make was an apple crumble with apples we'd picked out on one of our walks. I love these old-fashioned skills in the cottage. It reminds me of when I used to make rock buns with my nana as a child, using the same kind of scales. I'd always imagined that the little individual weights were a family. It's mad how something can bring up so many memories. I hope that one day we're lucky enough to have a family of our own to share these experiences with. To make the crumble, I added some brown sugar, some cold butter and some flour, and then got to work on making the right consistency for the crumble. The crumble mix was then added on top of the apples. After that, it was ready to go in the oven. Next up was the upside down quince cake. It looks a little burnt, but it was just the syrup on the edges. The quinces used to make this were from our homestead. There's something so nice about picking something from your own home and using it in a recipe. So it's the first upside down cake I've ever made, but I'm super happy with how it's turned out. The quinces from our land, there's a syrup on the top, so can't wait to see what it tastes like. I then grated some of the quinces to make a jam. Even though we're not on the land, it's so nice to have a piece of Portugal with us.
So how did you enjoy making your cakes?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. With not having an oven in the van, it's just been something that I've been really looking forward to.
Yeah, it's been nice having an oven, hasn't it?
It makes such a difference as well. Like, you're so constricted when you've just got a gas hob, but now that you've got an oven, it's just like the world just opens up.
Definitely. So you made an apple crumble, which I can't wait to have some of in a bit.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
We've
got the upside down quince cake, which I don't know what it'll be like. It's the first time I've ever made something like that. And then we've got the quince jam that I made.
Yeah, the quince jam. It's preserved really well, hasn't it?
And I've never had a quince before we made anything with them, so
Definitely.
It's been great to like have quinces off our land, try it for the first time and make them into recipes. It's just been great.
It's also been nice as well, just being able to, after all the stuff we've been going through, just kind of trying to navigate everything, just come home and just come see our family's been really nice, hasn't it? And spend Christmas. And just kind of, it's a lot colder now, but it's a lot colder than Portugal, but it's just nice to come back. And the reason as well I haven't got the fire on for is because the fire's it's broke. The chimney's not,
There's an issue with the chimney.
An issue with the chimney, which we're gutted about because we come back to our family and we're like, why is the chimney not working?
Yeah,
like, you can't have a fire, we're like, oh no.
Yeah, you just want to get cosy next to the fire and it's like, oh, it's not working. So
yeah, definitely.
But we'll be like hunched over the candlelight with
definitely
trying to get a bit of warmth.
Also as well, we've got our some grape juice as well. This is our grape juice from our land. This is actually our last one that we've got left, which is guttering, isn't it?
It's really upsetting.
It's so good as well, that's the thing. And we've got our little Viking cups. It's so good though, isn't it?
Summer in a mug.
Summer in a mug. That should be a t-shirt, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Skål.
Skål.
Or as they say in the northeast.
Cheers.
Cheers, Mara. And also as well, Merry Christmas everyone as well.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
And hope you have a happy New Year. Or as they say in Portugal, Boas Festas.
Boas Festas.
Boas Festas. Nice one, the grape juice, so good, isn't it?
Oh, it's upsetting that that's the last batch.
Takes you back to the summer, doesn't it?
Yeah, until next year.
Yeah, but as well, just with this, with the situation, like with our visas and things like that, we're just, one of the reasons why we come back is we just wanted to kind of just take a break from it all. You know, it's been very stressful, hasn't it?
Just working out what's best for us and just deciding what we want and things like that.
Definitely. Just coming back with our family just for the Christmas period, just kind of settle down for a few weeks and just kind of like be able to reassess, and then we can go back to Portugal and just kind of, like, well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep moving forward and just kind of be positive, but we're still kind of, we just don't know how it's going to turn out yet, really. You know, we've just got to keep moving forward.
And just like I say, deciding what's best for us.
Definitely.
If we want to spend another year or two sorting out the issues in Portugal and sorting out our finances to apply for that visa, or if it's worth looking at somewhere else. Definitely. But we just need to decide, really.
Definitely. And also as well, we just wanted to talk about some, with it being Christmas as well, we wanted to talk about some funny stories as well, because obviously behind you can't always kind of like capture every moment and stuff, and there's so many funny like little stories that goes on behind this the channel, isn't there, that we kind of, you can't really share. So there's some funny stories that we want to share. And the first one, what have you got? What about you? What's the first one you want to share? Is there any that comes to mind for you?
Not really. I'm just thinking about the time that maybe like the first summer that we spent in Portugal. I thought, oh my god, we're so tanned here, like it's great. Yeah. And then we had to fly home, and then we stayed at an Airbnb, and we had our first proper shower, and the water was just black coming off of us. Definitely. Because you forget in Portugal like how hot it is in the summer, that everything is just so dusty. When you're walking around, you're kicking up dust. When you drive, you kick up dust, and that dust is just settling on you. And because we couldn't shower properly, we just had a little pump spray thing. Yeah, the pump spray. Yeah, we're just showering with that. It obviously wasn't cleaning us properly, so when the water was just coming off us black. Yeah, it was because we didn't have the infrastructure in place, you know what I mean? So we're just using that pump spray, squirty squirt. Squirt. And then you just realise, like Laura says, you think you've got a tan, but you haven't. You just dirty it. A funny one for me was, you know, when I was working at I was jumping in and out of a job when we were coming back to make a bit of money. And the channel was starting to get a bit more people watching, wasn't it? It was getting bigger. Yeah. And then I jumped into a job, and then I was working as a delivery driver. And I knocked on this guy's door, and the guy come to the door, and I delivered his shopping to him. And the guy turned around and was like, oh, I've just been watching you on YouTube 2 minutes ago. You're supposed to be in Portugal. Yeah. So that was a really... It blew his mind. Yeah, it blew his mind. So that was a funny one. That was a funny one because it just kind of knocked him off guard, and I thought that was a kind of a nice thing to happen, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. It's always really nice, like, bumping into people in the shops who watch the channel and things. It's just crazy. You forget that, like, how many people really are watching. Yeah, you forget that behind every view is a real person, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's sometimes it's hard when you see the comments flooding in. It's like you kind of just see it as like a word on the screen, and it's hard to... It's not until you actually come up and meet somebody in the shops that's watched your videos that's like... It's really nice. Wow, it's actually a person, like, it's mad. What about the dog one? Oh, yeah, there was we're filling up water once, and this dog just randomly jumped in the back seat of the car. This isn't our dog, he's just jumped into the truck and he's just chilling on the back seat. Dan's filling up the water and this dog's just come into the front seat. Hello! It was just like, okay, like, where we're going, and wanted to drive with us, so that was a sweet little story. Yeah, definitely. It did have a collar on though, so we couldn't... Yeah, that was a funny one. Just wanted to come home with us, didn't it? Yeah. So Dan's just filling up the water there, and this little guy, why have you jumped on the back seat for? Making yourself at home. I know, you're comfy. I don't know, you've got a collar on, but I don't know, why are you in the back seat? There's loads of stray dogs in Portugal, but sometimes it's hard to tell if they're actually stray, or not, or wild dogs, because the Portuguese, you never really see the Portuguese, or we haven't, walking their dogs. They kind of just let them, especially if they're farm dogs, a lot of them just roam about. Definitely. So sometimes it's quite hard to tell if they are wild or not. Definitely. Another funny one for me story was, you know, the time when your mum came to the land for the first time. So Laura's mum came to the land for the first time, and we tried to kind of set the environment up for her, like, so just because it's a bit of a transition for Laura's mum, so we kind of tried to like set the bell tent up all nice, make sure she was warm because it was a cold winter, wasn't it? Yeah, it was really cold, and diesel heater wasn't working then either, so you couldn't. At night time, diesel heater was broke as well. It was like there was nowhere to get warm. Yeah. Anytime we were roughing it that winter. We were just like this. We forget sometimes because me and Laura like just really rough it, but then you bring someone else in the environment who's not used to that, and it's kind of like you've got to like try and like
you've got to try and be a bit more like
conscious.
You've got to be a bit more conscious about people.
Yeah, because
we
don't
just love it, you know.
We don't drink tea or coffee or anything. So like when people come, they're like, put the kettle on. I'm like, you want water? Like what are you having? Because we don't drink tea or coffee.
But that was a funny one. And what happened was we needed to go out one day, and as you'd seen previously, the land was the year was really wet and the land was soaking. But then we kind of hadn't took the van out for ages, so we needed some like petrol for the diesel for the van. We needed some LPG, so it was time to take the van off the land. And the track was okay. We'd fix the track up. It dried up a little bit, so we kind of drove the van out the track, got it out all fine. We're like, yeah, this is great. And then we got around the corner just out the land, and we noticed the farmer next door to us was digging up the road, and like he'd been doing something on the road. Because in Portugal, basically, it's not like the UK. Basically, the Portuguese farmers, they just kind of get a crack on with it themselves. Like there's no council to do the roads; they just do it themselves, don't they? Basically, which is really good. And anyway, we just kind of seen the farmer. We just drove past him, just drove straight past him. And as we drove past him, the farmer had been digging up the road and we hadn't seen. And I literally just like swamped straight in the way he dug it up. The van got stuck, and we're just like, oh no, here we go. Anyway, I jumped out the van to kind of assess the damage. Noticed that the van was really wedged in, and the farmer, that was really funny one. So the Portuguese farmer was just kind of like effing and blinding us in Portugal, just saying like, "You idiot! Like you can't see," and all that, wasn't he? Like you open your eyes, you not see, idiot, and all that. And it was really funny because as soon as Laura come around the corner and come out, he was just like, "Oh, no faz mal, no problem, oh, no problem." Which is really funny. So he was effing and blinding me, saying, "You idiot, you can't see." And then as soon as the lovely lady comes around the corner, he's just like, "Oh, no faz mal."
He did pull us out though, which was nice of him.
He did. Which is
Even
really
though
funny.
he was annoyed. He did pull
really
us out.
funny, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But then what happened was, it was really funny. When he pulled us out, he used a bit of rope to pull us out. And what happened was, because we were so close to the wall, the van scraped back in, and completely the whole front of the van is just completely dented in. And the guy was kind of worrying, and you were just like, "No faz mal."
Yeah, even though quite a lot of harm done was done to the van, I was just like, "No harm done, no faz mal."
So it's just one of them things, because we know that in Portugal it's just part of the culture. You know, if you live in that way, things are going to go wrong. You're going to get scrapes on the van, and like the van and the car is just the truck's just completely scraped everywhere, isn't it? But it's
Battle scars.
You just got to get on with it. It's just a part of it, isn't it?
Yeah. I wouldn't worry about like having nice fancy things when you're living off grid, because like
Definitely.
everything just breaks and,
it does, doesn't it?
and just it gets destroyed.
Another funny one was you know, like this is kind of like, because when a lot of people comment, and like obviously people don't understand the landscape of the land, so we have this kind of ongoing joke, because every time we do a job on the land, the comments always go, "Oh, I would have just done this, I would have done that," and there's always loads of different opinions. And one of the funny ones is after we did the concrete floor, like about 3 people said this, but they said, "Oh, if I was doing that, I'd just get a concrete truck down, didn't I?" And just, which is really funny, because obviously you've seen previously our land, what it's like. I mean, there's no getting a concrete truck down that track.
Yeah. Oh my
And up
God,
the top. Imagine getting it up the top of the land through the pine trees.
That would be a good way to fix the track.
Through the olive trees.
Yeah, the concrete truck just like tips over on the drive, and then we're just getting this lovely driveway now.
Yeah.
That could be a good plan.
Yeah, but there's definitely no truck coming down that driveway.
No.
It's not big enough, is it?
No, definitely not.
But it's funny, you know, you just can't get building supplies down that track, you know, so you just have to get on with it yourself. That's why we've got the truck. But it's just funny when people say like, "Oh, I would have just done this," you know. So that's always a funny one, isn't it?
Yeah, just give people credit, because like they don't understand the context of the land and
Definitely.
stuff. But it was a funny on that
Definitely.
one. Yeah, so it's been a very eventful 2023.
It has.
Probably
going to be another eventful year coming too as well, because we don't know what's going to go down.
Yeah, we don't know where we're going to be. Portugal, somewhere else. I don't know. But thanks for following the journey so far. I hope you guys have a lovely Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yeah, definitely. As they say in Portugal, Boas Festas.
Boas Festas.
Yeah, so Merry Christmas everyone, and thanks so much for following the journey.
Yeah, following the madness, the absolute chaos that our life is at the moment.
Yeah.
But
lots more to come.
yeah, maybe a little bit more chaos, then hopefully some stability, because we need a little bit of stability.
Yeah,
but,
definitely. Laura wants an oven, you know what I mean?
I need an oven.
when,
It's a need.
when a woman wants an oven, a man has to provide. Yeah, we'll leave it there. So anyway, have a lovely Christmas everyone. Thank you so much as always.
Bye.
Bye.
From beginning to end, our life is a journey. Come on along as we're making our way. If it's near or it's far, our hearts they will guide us. Origin Homestead as we share a new day.